Collective. Welcome to Intuitive Goddess Tarot 911. I'm Jenny. I forgot to say on the previous reading that these readings are timeless. When you're seeing this, it's meant for you. This is a general reading. The last couple I'm doing are general. I don't know. I kept hearing all day, nurture your inner child. So that's going to be the focus of this reading too, to see if that's actually what we're supposed to be doing here. So welcome in, or welcome if you've never been here before. So we're going to pull a couple charms just to get us started to, identify this as more of your reading. So we got a cross, we got a moon, or a sea, I don't know, whichever one you want to, whichever one fits. A snowflake, an angel, and another cross. I have never ever gotten crosses when I'm doing this, so that's interesting. All right, and then we're gonna pull one of these runes. All right, I don't think I've ever gotten that one, so let's see what that means. It looks kind of like a P. Where are you? Okay. It means joy. Absence of suffering and sorrow. I like joy a lot. All right. So I pulled some cards ahead of time just so that I could get a start on this, because I didn't want to be looking for these pages while I had you wait, and I was really called to use this deck today. So our first card is the Shadow. Then we have Kairos and the Offering. So let's see what these mean, and then we'll pull some other cards. So the Shadow. Although every card in the archetype deck has a shadow potential, this card asks us to delve into the qualities of the shadow itself. We often think that the shadow can be purified, illuminated, and made right through the effort of achievement. However, it is typically the case that our lofty pursuit of ascension and perfection is the very source of the shadow's material itself. By rejecting parts of ourselves and the world, we begin to separate from the whole, rather than getting to know the qualities and content of our shadow. We busy ourselves with avoiding its presence. This is a denial. When this card appears, it is time to take inventory of those things you've been denying. When your mind responds with no, anything but that, you are touching the shadow. Find support for the deep inner work and move towards the shadow with patience and compassion. Okay, so this is like something similar to the previous reading. So it says, revealing unconscious aspects of the self and the world. Okay, so maybe there's something about yourself that you're not looking at, that you don't want to look at. I mean, we all know what they are, right? Yeah, we all have things that we don't want to see about ourselves. All right, that's interesting. So looking at those things that we don't want to look at. So what else? I've never gotten this card. So Kairos, it says, we have had all the experience of timelessness of life beyond the ticking of the clock. It may be felt as time standing still, slow motion, or losing track of time on a walk or in a lovely conversation. This is known as mystic time, and it's territory of Kairos. This card suggests there is a secondary time continuum that goes beyond all earthly clocks and schedules. Within these nonlinear realms, we access divine timing. A single moment ripens with auspiciousness, and our actions change the trajectory of our whole life. Time becomes a living thing that watches over us and tells us precisely when to speak or act. When this card appears, it is all about patience and precision. No clock can guide you. Wait for the rush of inner knowing and not a moment longer. It says alignment, ease in decision, and action. Interesting. Okay, so maybe it's the time for you to act on something. It says everything has a time of ripeness. That's an interesting thought. Okay, what else, Spirit? The offering. So it says, unlike many of our other cards in the deck, the offering carries a clear as day message and call to action. As you may have guessed, it is time for something to be given or given up for the sake of the bigger picture. If nothing comes to mind immediately, though it likely will, take time to meditate, to consider what must be offered and who will receive it. It's likely you feel attachment or hesitancy. You make excuses, but recognize the link between the word sacrifice and the word sacred. One leads to the other. When we offer up something greater to the greater good, we lighten our load and become more able to serve. Imagine for a moment if you were to offer your whole self unconditionally to the world. For now, start small. It says generosity, donation, volunteering. Okay, so it's time to look at those parts of yourself that you don't like. It's time, I guess, is just a better way of putting it. And it's time to make an offering. So that could be giving up something like an addiction, or, maybe you feel the need to volunteer at a nursing home. Maybe you feel the need to go spend time with young children, the elderly. I mean, it could be anything, right? So let's see if we can get some more info on that, because this is really interesting. I like this. So, all right. Let's see. Holy angels, Holy spirits. These readings have been mega interesting. So, holy angels, Holy spirits, what do we need to know about the shadow and what's hidden and what, we're shielding ourselves from looking at? What do we need to know about that? Prophecy. So it's already in the cards, whatever this is, right? Restless energy, spirit. So not helping. All right, what about the time is now? Dream work. Personal alchemy. Intuition. Justice. Interesting. So, all right. So the shadow, whatever you are going to be looking at has already, it's like that. It's like when we think of time as linear. It's not, right? So this has already, whatever you are looking at in yourself, has already been put into motion. This is something that you need to look at. This is something that has already been spoken into the universe. It could have something to do with your restless energy. I don't know. We're going to need more information on this. And then the dream work and the personal alchemy. I mean, we all have control of what we alchemize, right? But maybe yours is specifically has to be done inside your dream work. And then the offering, your intuition likely is telling you something that needs to be offered in order to balance the weight of justice, I guess. Which, this is really cool. All right. We're going to need more info, though, because this is not enough. So we're going to grab this deck. I need to know more about the shadow, Spirit. What does the collective need to know about the restless energy and the prophecy? And what is supposed to be, what they're supposed to be looking at? What is that about? Forgiveness, reducing the burden. Interesting. What else? Remembrance. Okay. So this kind of makes more sense to me. So we all make mistakes, right? We've all had things that we've done in our lives that we're not proud of. I feel like those are the things that Spirit is talking about. Maybe looking at those and showing yourself some forgiveness, because when you forgive yourself, you're reducing your burden. As people, we carry around our guilt in suitcases and shit. So, I feel like allowing yourself to be forgiven for all past mistakes, all things that you've gone through, is a way of lightening your burden and moving forward. What else, Spirit? Intuition. So whatever it is that it's time for, your intuition is telling you. Maybe it would help you to write it down. So I'm getting that whatever dream work you're doing, it's going to be important for you to write it down. So maybe keep your notebook next to your bed at night. What else? The most magical hour of all. Yeah, it's going to be in the middle of the night. Whatever this is, whatever this message is that you're supposed to be getting. And then what about this offering and the intuition? Acceptance and equality. Yeah. I feel like, for example, when I foster animals, or when I, spend time with the elderly, or whatever it is that I'm doing, even my job certain days can feel like, my job most days feels like I'm giving to the greater good. You're offering something of yourself that's helping someone else. So I feel like the acceptance and the equality of yourself is important. The light after the darkness. Yes. Yes. So you forgiving yourself for past mistakes, getting ready to move into this new era, this new time where you can manifest what you want. And the time is critical, and apparently the time is in the middle of the night. So get your notebooks ready. Can we have one more card, Spirit? Synergy and healing. Yeah, so this is going to... this is going to balance the scales. So you forgiving yourself, looking at all those little things that, you know, maybe you're not so proud of, you know, and this is like from the last reading too, like we do our best, right? And, you know, sometimes our best isn't great. Sometimes our best is awesome, you know, but it's our personal best. It's all we can do at the time. So I feel like that's important. And I feel like it's important to forgive yourself for whatever you know, whatever part about yourself you don't like, or whatever, you know, thing that you have done that you're not proud of. It's important to look at that and say, hey, okay, you know, especially if it was a long time ago. I mean, we all do things when we're young that we're not proud of, you know. But I feel like it's going to be essential that whatever you're dreaming about, you're writing down. And this is going to help you to heal. And it's going to bring justice and an acceptance and an equality to whatever you're going through, and it's going to bring the light in. This is really beautiful. I knew there was a reason I needed to use this deck. I have had a busy few days, so let's get you an advice card. We'll use this deck. I like this deck because it's got animals on it. Come on. Over here. Oliver's in here. I'm waiting for him to jump on the center of the table. He might do it. I don't know. He's funky for a 10-year-old. Oh, that one was, these two were going to fly out. So let's see what they are. All right. I've never gotten the bison. So it says, Sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom. Keep me warm through the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness. Teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. Maybe that's what all the crosses and the angels are for. All right, and then white stag, protector. You are an old soul. Your best friend is nature. Use your intuition to take you where you want to go. Awaken to the powerful force within you. You are meant to create blessings with your magic. I agree with that. Well, this was really beautiful. I hope you found it helpful. Let me know if it resonates, because I don't know. This was really such a pleasure to do today. So, but I hope you guys, again, are doing amazing. And thank you for watching the videos, liking, subscribing. And I will see you again on the next video. But take good care of yourselves. Take good care of each other. And I love you so much. Have a good day. Bye.